Hello, everyone. Welcome to the second Richmond Race review. Um, this was a race for sure. Things kind of happened. It wasn't terrible, but it was definitely a Richmond race of all time for sure. Um, Nothing out of the ordinary. Um, we kind of know the play now with the strategy. Basically, you do the first stage, don't pit at all. Second and third stage, you two stop it. And I'm gonna come off with maybe a hot take. I don't know. Is it really a strategy race if 90 to 95% of people do the same strategy? Personally, I don't think so. Let's be honest, 95, literally like one car made the one stop work all day, and that was Truex. Um, yeah, so not really a strategy race if only one car does it right. I think I see a strategy race more like, oh, if like 7 people make a one stop work, it makes it more interesting type of deal. But that's not how Richmond is right now. There's just too much tire fall off to make a one stop work at this point. So not a lot happened this race. I'm gonna be real. We only had one natural caution at the end. Noah Gragson turned Suarez for whatever, locked up or something. I'm not entirely sure, but I mean, the big story of the day really was the RFK cars being very dominant, and Chris Buescher winning in pretty dominant fashion, and in the end. So I think he had like a 5-6 second lead when the caution came out. Had a very dominant performance. He only led like 85 laps or something. He didn't lead a lot. He just took the lead in stage 3 and took off like a rocket. And Brad led the most laps in the race. Led over 100 laps, just over 100 laps, I think. So RFK were the two best cars really all day. Brad had his pit road issue and just wasn't really able to fight back. Stage 1, Tyler Reddick dominated, and Bubba Wallace. Another big story today was Bubba Wallace getting a lot of stage points. Didn't really get the finish that he was hoping for. He finished 12th today. That's not exact. Can be definitely a disappointing day for sure. But he gained a lot of stage points, and that's going to help them big in the bubble today. We'll get to the playoff bubble at some point. But SHR was really fast today. Ryan Preece and Eric Almirola specifically. Harvick was good, but I don't think he was as good as the 10 and the 41. And Briscoe was fine. But this is a good day for SHR. They really needed that because they have been struggling pretty mightily lately. So yeah, Chris Buescher had this race in full control until that late race yellow, where you kind of felt like, oh, here we go, horror show about to begin. So, luckily, Buescher had a good stop and had a clean restart and just drove away. So, yeah, Buescher was class of the field definitely in the later half of the race. Hamlin came home second. Just had a typical solid run. Larson did give him the bumper, though. Gave him the bumper. That was pretty funny. Warranted, but didn't really do anything. Just sending a message. Kyle Busch came the third place at the end of that race somehow. Not entirely sure how that happened. Logano, I don't know where he came from, but finished fourth. Ryan Preece with season best finish of fifth today. Keselowski sixth. Truex seventh on the one-stop strategy. I think he was going to be fifth or sixth if caution didn't come out. Eric Almirola eighth. Austin Dillon ninth. Austin Dillon does pretty well at Richmond. Quietly well. Not a big surprise there in Harvick rounds out the top 10. Chase Elliott, a notable in 13th. Actually gained quite a bit on the playoffs bubble. He is minus 40 now. So made up some big ground. There's 4 races left. If he can gain 10 points a race, he can make it. I'm not too confident just because McDowell's really good at road courses. McDowell would probably have to have a disaster at Michigan or crash at Daytona. The Daytona race will probably be pretty wild if I had to guess. McDowell, not a good day, 22nd. They took a really bizarre strategy in stage 2, the one stop, and it backfired very hard. Hendrick just wasn't good today. Elliott was the best car in 13th. Hendrick was pretty terrible today, to be honest. Most of them were a lap down most of the race. Honestly, I've kind of noticed it doesn't seem like Hendricks really got the speed that they had in the early part of the season. I don't think I can be the only one that's been noticing that. So, Trackhouse wasn't good today either. Suarez 33rd, obviously got spun late, but was running terrible anyways. Ross Chastain 24th also was not good. All the cars finished the race today. That's a interesting stat, but yeah, the race was okay. I mean, it was not much happened. There was some good side-by-side battling throughout the field, but even like when it's just side-by-side at Richmond, it's just like, to me, it's not very exciting. I don't know. The thing with Richmond, it's like it's almost become so tire dependent where like it's racing so hard there. I don't know. It's weird. It's a weird track right now. The big thing, though, honestly, I think Richmond would be more interesting without stage cautions. Because if there weren't stage cautions, what would be the winning strategy? Pitting every 50 laps, every 75 laps? What about every 100 laps? I think that would make Richmond a lot more interesting. And then there could be that caution that flips the entire field because everyone's doing different strategies and stuff. That's just me. Honestly, stage breaks make races less interesting. I kind of hope they just get rid of stage breaks. I think it would help a lot of tracks. I mean, yeah, Richmond would be very interesting. Darlington would be very interesting. I'm trying to think of those are the two big ones. Old Atlanta would have been something, but obviously that's not a thing anymore. But I just think, tracks, if we can get more tire wear and get rid of stage breaks, it would be nice. It'd be interesting to see. But yeah, so let's get into the playoff bubble. Bubba had a huge day. Obviously, Buescher's locked in. He wasn't really a concern. I'm not. Brad and Harvick are safe. They would need a catastrophic failure, collapse of historic proportions for to get knocked out at this point. Bubba's 54. I think he needs to build a little bit more of a gap, have a good run in Michigan, which I think he's going to have a good run at Michigan. If he could get more onto that cut line, I think he can survive the hit of the two road courses and end up making the playoffs. McDowell, he needs to have a good run at Michigan because I'm going to assume he's going to run well at the road courses. But he needs to make sure because Ty Gibbs, Allmendinger, and Chase Elliott, they are all good road racers to our knowledge. So Ty Gibbs is the first one out in 17th, minus 18. Allmendinger, minus 22. Suarez, minus 34. And Chase Elliott, minus 40. Honestly, I feel like Suarez has lost hope at this point. But I think Chase Elliott, he had a huge day today on cutting into that points lead. He gained like 15 today. Allmendinger, for what he did this week, not bad to be only 22 out. And Ty Gibbs being 18 out, you never know. So it's gonna be an interesting battle. McDowell can't have races like today. So yeah, next week's Michigan should be somewhat interesting. I'll actually be at the race, so it'll be a little bit different perspective of a race review next week. So thanks for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed my thoughts. And if you liked it, don't forget to like, follow, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.